let's get started. Yeah, Martin is normally, but Martin's doing it with me as well. I'm very impressed. Okay, so let's just start with a little bit of movement of our lower arm. Okay, so have your palm facing up towards the ceiling, elbow bent, and then just flip your hand over so your palm faces down. So palm up, palm down. Okay, so we've just got a little bit of movement there, and it's just coming through that lower arm. Okay, and then straighten your arm out. And we're going to do the same again, but now I want the movement to come not just from the elbow, but from the whole shoulder. So, and turn the arm as far forwards as you can and as far back as you can. So really getting that movement all the way from your shoulder. So as we roll the arm in, it's called internal rotation, and as we roll the arm out, it's external rotation. So we're trying to get as much movement through that arm as we can. Let's do the other side. So bend the elbow again, palm facing up again. We're just trying to move the lower arm to begin with. Palm up and palm down. So this movement is coming from your elbow, from your lower arm. Upper arm's not doing an awful lot. And then again, let's straighten the whole arm out and let's move from the shoulder joint again. So we've got that rolling in, rolling out. Go as far forwards as you can and as far back as you can. Good. All right. So that's starting to wake the shoulders up, starting to get a little bit of movement there. Let's do our reverse prayer hands. So bringing the backs of your hands together. Get your thumbs together and then pull your thumbs as far away from your fingers as you can and lower your hands down. So remember, we're trying to keep the backs of the hands glued together. And we're really trying to get our forearms kind of level with the floor. So if, as you bring your arms down, that your backs of your hands start to come apart, just go up a little bit higher till you can get the backs of the hands together. And then notice, has that made your shoulders round? Can you let your shoulders relax down? Think about nice wide shoulders, nice and open through your chest. And then let that go. Let's give our hands a little shake out. We're going to interlace our fingers and we're going to press the palms down towards the floor, stretching into your hands, press your arms down. And then we're going to press forwards. And then we're going to press up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to come back to forwards and we're going to take that side to side now. So arms are forwards and we're just taking them side to side. So it's just your arms that are moving, you're not having to twist your whole body. Let's just take the arms. Getting a bit of a stretch again, it's just all movement through your shoulders. Are we ready for some towel swooshing? It's my favourite. Let your hands go, give them a shake out and grab your towel. So let's go for a really wide grip to begin with. So wider than your shoulders. Okay. And we're going to start gentle with just side to side. So let's just do a little bit of side to side. And depending on how your shoulders are, that might be as high as you want to go. And you're just always checking in and doing what feels right for you. So side to side. All right. Can we go all the way around? So can you go up and take the towel around your back and come forwards again? So it's like you're putting on your coat, yeah? And then how about, can you reverse that and go the other way? You get yourself all tangled up. I often get hair everywhere. And all right, and then just hold it there. Okay, so we're going to refine that a little bit. So let's do it with a real bent elbow this time. So let's keep our elbows bent and we're going to make that circle really small because our elbows are bent. So it's only a little teeny tiny movement with a bent elbow. And then can you reverse that and go the other way? So elbows bent. So let's do it super slow this time. So we're going to straighten our arms out now. Can you do it with a straight arm or straight-ish and super slow? So this is where you probably will get yourself in a knot with your towel or ruin your hair. And then can you go the other way again, so slow and straight arms. They can have a bit of a bend, but you're just kind of playing with how we feel there. Alright, as you take the towel behind you this time, we're going to hold it behind. So we're going to hold that towel behind. Can you lower your arms behind you, just a little way, and then pull your head back so that your head is over your shoulders, because what happens is, as we take the arms back, to get the towel there, we quite often poke our head forward. You see it in weightlifters all the time. Can you bring your head back so that your head is in line with your shoulders and you're holding your arms back, and let's do side to side overhead. Good. Alright, and then we're going to let that go. Ooh, pop your towel down. We're going to come back to that again in a little while. We're going to take our hands behind now, interlace your hands behind. And can you think about walking your shoulder blades in towards each other? So think about walking them in, bringing them in, bringing them in. Can you squeeze your shoulder blades together? Keep squeezing the shoulder blades, and then can you lift your arms behind? Keep the arms lifted. Can you tilt your head to one side? Notice if your chin's poking forwards, keep ramping that head up, keeping your head over your shoulders. Bring your head back through centre. Can you tilt your head to the other side? Bring your head back in through centre, lower your arms and release your hands. Let's give them a little shake out. Let's just do a few little shoulder circles here. Let's go the other way. All right. We're going to do some more swooshing. We're going to grab that towel again. So what I want you to pay attention to this time is, as you take your arms up and over, are you bringing your ribs forward? Can you try and keep your ribs down and keep your weight back through your heels? So pick up your towel again. We're still nice and wide. So you want your feet about hip width apart. You can go a little bit wider if you want to. Have your weight back through your heels. And we're going to really focus on keeping the rib cage directly over the pelvis, okay? And then we're going to, again, you can either just do your side to side, or you can go for your full circle swoosh. So notice, are your ribs wanting to lift here? And you can kind of do straight arm, you can have a bit of a bent arm. You're just playing with that movement and seeing what patterns of movement your body has. And again, go the other way. Keeping your weight back through your heels. Notice if your weight's sneaking forwards. Keep a check on those ribs. All right. As your towel comes in front this time, let's go for a more narrow grip this time. I'm kind of got about shoulder width. So if your shoulders are very tight, if you have a lot of tension through your shoulders, you might need to go a little bit wider. So just have again, it's just about playing with the movement that you have. How we go there? Can you do your full swoosh there with that narrow grip? Still trying to keep your weight back through your heels, maybe go the other way. Weight back through your heels, ribs down. Go back the other way again. This time do it with those bent elbows, so keeping your elbows a little bit bent the whole time. And then go back the other way. And elbows. How about we do straight arms and super slow again with that narrow grip. And you're noticing when it gets harder for you, what patterns your body has, like I said, just to get around that. So this for me, narrow grip and slow is quite tricky now. So now I'm feeling that my ribs want to lift, elbows want to bend, all things are going on really. And then as you take that towel behind you this time, let's take it behind. Let's do side to side, behind. Notice here, has your weight come forwards into the balls of your feet? Can you keep your weight back through your heels? Are your ribs lifted? Can you try and keep your ribs down? And is your head poking forwards? Can you ramp your head up so that your head is over your shoulders? All right, get rid of that. Give your arms and your shoulders a little shake out. Just let everything be loosey-loosey, loosey-goosey. Okay, and then we're going to take one arm behind. So one arm behind your back. Trying to get this upper arm as close to your body and as vertical as you can. So you're making sure that it's not poking out to the side. And notice here, as you put your arm behind your back, has it made you lift your ribs in front to get that arm there? That's what a lot of people will do with tight shoulders. So again, keeping the ribs down and just taking that arm back. Once you're there and you're happy with that, we're going to see if we can start to sneak your lower arm up your spine. So you've probably done this with me before. Lower arm starts to sneak up your spine. Just take a few breaths there. So it might feel like quite a big stretch through the shoulder and through the front of your chest. Let's drop our head to the opposite side. Notice if your elbow's wanting to sneak out to the side, try and keep it tucked in. Alright, and then bring your head back in through centre and just release that arm. Let's do that internal and external rotation from the shoulder again. Okay, and then we're going to do the other side. So other arm's going to go behind your back. Again, trying to get this upper arm as vertical as you can. Try not to let your elbow poke out to the side. All right. Again, checking in with your alignment. So have you had to lift your ribs to get there? Have you shifted all of your weight forwards? And let's do our head tilt here as well. Let's do our head tilt to the opposite side. Just with this. Because you can feel it adds that extra little stretch. And then again, like we did on the other side, you can start to sneak your lower arm up your back. Still trying to keep that elbow tucked in by your side. Good. Okay, bring your head back into centre, release that arm. Let's do again that internal, external rotation from the shoulder. And then we're going to go back to our first side again. So same thing, hand goes behind your back. Lower arm sneaks up your spine. And then see if you can flip your hand over. Yeah. So instead of it being palm facing out, you flip your hand so the palm's facing in towards your back. If that's too much, just have your hand the other way, it's fine. But you can kind of feel it really gets into all of the nooks and crannies there. I like that. Just really feel like you're moving things that perhaps don't normally get moved. And then when you're ready, gently, gently let it go. Just give it a little wriggle, maybe turning it in and out, shake it. Whatever it feels like it needs to do to release that. And then let's try that on the other side. So again, hand goes back. Lower arm sneaks up your spine. And then can you flip your palm the other way? And it might be different one side to the other. So it might be able to do it on one side and not on the other. And that's quite common. It feels good though. I feel like moving bits that need to move. Good job. Just a couple more breaths there. Check your jaw. Notice if you're holding tension in your jaw, you're gritting your teeth. Let your jaw relax. All right, let it go. And then again, just moving that whole arm, whatever feels good to you. So now we're going to grab our block or our book for our pizza delivery exercise. So you're going to balance it on the flat of your hand, and you're trying not to grip it, so don't hold it with your thumb, you're just balancing it. Okay. And let's follow our thumb. So we'll follow the thumb. You're going to take the block out to the side. We're going to take it up and over your head, bring it down at the front. It's going to come around the side, and then it's going to have to come through your arm and back to your start position. I love this, it's so much fun. Alright, so again, following your thumb, it's going to go out to the side, it's going to go up, it's going to come across the top of your head, don't be dropping pizza on your head, bring it around the front, take it behind, and then come through and under your arm. So just play with that a few times, noticing how you have to move your body to get there. So it might be that you're kind of leaning to one side, you're leaning forwards, you're kind of shifting your hips to one side. So just notice what movements you're just naturally making to be able to do this move. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So let's go onto the other hand. And again, you're going to follow your thumb out to the side. It's going to go up and overhead, down in front, and then come around and back to your start position. So it will be quite obvious if it's different one side to the other. And for me, this is much more difficult, and I have to really move my body around on this side. So just notice for you if it's different. Alright, when you come back through, this time, I'm going to go back to your first side. So this time we're going to go the opposite way. So you're going to follow your little finger this time. So go on the flat of your hand. So it's going to come through and under your arm first. And then out to the side, it's going to come in front and go overhead and back around. And if you get lost, it doesn't matter, just move it around. But if you think about always going towards where your little finger is, you should be okay. So again, noticing how much you have to move your body to kind of get this. And it might be that going this way is easier than going thumb way. And it also might be that your brain's kind of got what you're asking it to do now. Switch and do the same on the other side. So again, following your little finger. See, now if it was pizza, there's not a chance of you dropping it. It's because it's just a block. Don't drop pizza. This is another one of those little party pieces. So if we're ever able to have parties again, you can challenge your friends to be able to do it. All right. When you come back around this time, let it go. Again, just give everything a little shake out your arms, your shoulders. And we're going to come down onto the floor for a little bit. So just move everything to the side so that you're not going to trip over it. And we're going to come down onto all fours. So I'm just going to adjust my screen a little bit so that you can see me. Alright, and we're down on all fours. So all we're going to do here is rock our weight from side to side. So rock your weight side to side. And then I want you to notice how you are kind of getting that movement. Are you leading from your hips? Quite often we just kind of go from the hips because that's our kind of central gravity and that's the bit that we tend to drive from. Can you make this from your arms? So can you push your arms one way and then push the other? So you're pushing into one hand and pushing away from that side and then push into the other side. So again, because we're thinking about our shoulders, we're trying to steer the movement from there. And just feel how that changes now. So it's not just coming from your pelvis, it's coming up from your shoulders. And then as you come back in through centre this time, let's get our set up really nice. So fingers spread wide, thumbs point towards each other and elbow pits are forwards. We're going to go into our rhomboid push-up from here. So shoulder blades are going to come together in your back and then you're going to press wide. So let your chest drop down towards the mat as you squeeze your shoulder blades together and then spread your shoulder blades as wide as you can on your back. Excuse me. Keep checking those elbow pits. Notice if they are looking in towards each other instead of pointing forwards, and make them point forwards again. And then as you come up this time, we're going to turn the hands out to the sides. So turn your hands out to the sides and do the same thing here. So you can let your head just hang here. That's quite a nice thing to let your head do so that you're getting a little bit of neck release, the back of your neck. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together and pressing them wide. And then can you turn your hands again so that your fingers are pointing more towards your knees? And do the same thing again. So you're only going to go a smaller movement this time, because you're probably not going to be able to go as far. So just being very mindful of how your wrists and hands are feeling, because it will feel very strange. And then just come on off your wrists for a moment. Let's just give the hands a little shake out. We're going to do a little bit more of that, but just giving your wrists a little break. So we did hands at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So we're now going to do kind of 2 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So we're kind of turned out like 45 degrees. And same thing again here, spreading your fingers wide. Thumbs are still going to point towards the front end of your mat, and let's do some little rhomboid push-ups here. Really getting as much movement through your shoulders as you can. And then we're going to turn our hands down, so we're going to go to kind of 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock. And let's do that here. So just noticing what having your hand in those different positions, whether it changes anything through your shoulders, whether there's any kind of sticky spots that don't want to move there. All right, and then come on off your wrists again and just give your hands a good shake out. Give your fingers a wriggle. Bring your elbow in by your side, turn your palm to face up and use your other hand to pull the fingers back. And then just gently pull in each finger and turn back, just to give your fingers a little stretch. Do the same on the other side, so elbow tucks in, palm faces up, and then use your other hand to pull the fingers all together, and then just doing each one in turn. You've done them all, just give them a little wriggle again. We're going to lie down on our mat now, face down, so come on to your front. And we're going to have our hands just in front of our shoulders, elbows bent, so you're kind of in that stop position. So pubic bone is anchored into the mat, tailbone slightly tucked, and legs can either be hip width apart or squeezing together, whichever feels better for you. And rest your forehead down onto your mat. Can you think about rolling your shoulders down away from your ears? Okay, then from here, you're just going to pick your head up away from the mat. So arms are going to stay down, and you're just going to imagine that you're floating the back of your head towards the ceiling, and then you're just going to lower it down again. So I'm going to play with this a few times. So again, picking up the back of your head towards the ceiling and lowering it down. So you're keeping length through the back of your neck, and your eyes are down on the mat the whole time. As you lower your head down this time, rest your head down. And then I want you to think about where your shoulder blades are on your back. Can you think about drawing your shoulder blades down your back, or sometimes I'll say, think about pulling your armpits down towards your waist, because it's really tempting when we're here to have your shoulders up around your ears. So see if you can pull them down towards your waist, and do the same thing here. So again, you're going to lift the back of your head towards the ceiling and lower down, keeping those shoulder blades anchored down so that they aren't sneaking up around your ears. Alright, and then this time you're going to just pick your back of your head up towards the ceiling. We're not going to lift too high, we're going to hold it here. Can you tilt your head to one side and hold it there? So your head's tilted, drop one ear down towards one shoulder. Bring your head back into centre. Can you tilt it the other way? Towards the opposite shoulder. Notice if your chin's poking forwards. Can you again ramp your head so that we've got length through the back of the neck? There's no creases on the back of the neck. Bring your head back into centre and then lower your head down. Let's go back into our rest position. So push yourself up and back, let your bottom back towards your heels, and reach your arms forwards into your child's pose. Just to give your lower back a little bit of a stretch. Excuse me. Okay, and then we're going to go back down onto our front again. And this time you're going to have your arms down by your sides. So you can rest your forehead down onto the mat, or you can have it just hovering if you prefer. Try and keep back of the neck long, so try not to look forwards and compress the back of your neck. We're going to do our dart exercise here. So you're going to reach both arms away towards the ceiling and then lower them down. So let's just do a few of those, reaching both arms behind you towards the ceiling and lowering down. So notice, as you reach the arms, are they going wider apart? Can you keep them pulling in towards each other? So like you've got two little magnets on your palms of your hands and they're pulling in towards each other. And as you lower your arms down this time, we're going to pause there. We're going to just lift one arm towards the ceiling. We're going to stay on one single side, so keep reaching just that one arm. And I want you to notice how much your shoulder blade is moving as you reach that arm behind you. Can you, if you're very aware, can you keep your shoulder blades still and just move the arm? And if you've got no idea whether it's moving or not, don't worry about it. But if you are aware, can you see if you can keep just the shoulder blades still and just work from your arm? So if you're not sure, just keep going. You switch and do the same on the other side, so you're reaching the other arm back this time. And again, if you've got that awareness, can you try and keep your shoulder blades still and just reach the arm? Alright, and then resting your arms down. So we're going to keep our arms down by our sides now. So we're going to go back to that first side again. Now this time I want you to keep your arms still, but can you think about pulling that side shoulder blade in towards your spine? And you're not going to see very much from the outside, and then let it relax. Can you do that again? So same side, you're thinking about pulling your shoulder blade in towards your spine, and your arm is just going to stay down by your side. And release it. So just keep going on that same side. Can you pull the shoulder blade in and release it? And even if you're not sure that it's moving, it doesn't matter. Putting your awareness and your attention there is going to help to really build that relationship. Switch and do the same on the other side. So arm stays down. Can you pull your shoulder blade in towards your spine? How hard is it to just do one-sided things as well? It really takes some concentration. All right, and then just let your shoulders relax. Okay, just bring your arms forwards for a moment. Stretch your arms forwards. Reach your fingertips as far forwards as you can as you stretch. And then we're going to take our arms back down by our sides again. So putting your awareness again in your shoulder blade. We're going back to that first side. Can you think about trying to stabilise that shoulder blade? So again, maybe think about pulling them down, armpits down towards your waist, pulling that shoulder blade down your back, keeping that shoulder blade as still as you can. Can you lift that arm towards the ceiling and lower it down? Can you lift that arm, trying to keep that shoulder blade stable and pull down? Try the other side. So again, shoulder blade stable. Pull it down. Can you lift and lower your arm? And then as your arm lowers down this time, reach your arms forwards again, kind of circle them out to the sides, reach forwards. Walk your fingertips as far away from you as you can and really stretch. Circle them back out to the sides. They're going to come all the way into interlace behind you now. Hands resting down on your bottom or wherever your arms reach. And now this time I want you to think about pulling your shoulder blades in towards each other. So it's like you're picking up the front of your shoulders away from the mat as you pull your shoulder blades together. Notice, can you get the bottom of the shoulder blades together? Can you get the middle? Can you get the top? That's the hardest thing. Once those shoulder blades are really squeezing together, can you lift your hands still interlaced? Can you lift them towards the ceiling? Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your hands. Bring your hands forwards. And let's push ourselves back into our rest position again. Take your bottom back towards your heels into child's pose and just stretch. And maybe it feels nice to just rock your weight kind of side to side there. Okay, so I've got another little exercise that we're going to do on our knees. So Andrew, you can do this on the wall as well. It's fine to do this one standing at the wall. So we're going to stay on our knees if you're able to kneel. And you're going to bring your hands down, and we're going to have palms facing down. I'm going to kind of turn towards you a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, and we're going to do one arm at a time, and all you're going to do is you're going to slide your arm forwards and back, keeping the whole of your hand and your forearm and your elbow on the floor or on the wall. Okay, so it's really tempting for your elbow to lift away from the floor, so try and keep it down and you're just sliding it forwards and backwards. You're trying to keep your shoulders square as well, so notice if one shoulder is wanting to lift and you're just sliding forwards and backwards. All right, and then same thing, same side, turn your hand over. So palm is facing up, and can you do the same thing here? So hand, arm and elbow is down on the floor, and you're sliding forwards and backwards. And try to keep your shoulders nice and stable, so I'm kind of not having your shoulders hit reaching up around your ears. All right, do the other side, so palm facing down first, and you're reaching your arm forwards and then pulling it back. Keeping your elbow, your hand and your forearm in contact with the mat the whole time. And again, watching to see if that elbow is trying to lift away. And noticing, is it different on this side to the other side? What's your body trying to do? How about if you turn the hand over again? So palms facing up, again, forearm, elbow down. Ooh, how's that find? Is that finding areas that don't want to move? Is your elbow wanting to float away from the mat? Alright, just come on up and off your arms for a minute. We're going to do that one more time. We're going to just kind of vary that a little bit, but just kind of come up and give your shoulders and your neck and everything just a little move around, because sometimes we create more tension by staying in a position for too long. So we're going to do that again, palm down and palm up, but this time instead of having the arm going straight out, we're going to turn it out slightly to the side. Again, you can do this on the wall if you're not happy kneeling. Same thing, hand down, forearm down, elbow down, palm down, and turn your arm out to the side slightly. So it's going to go kind of out at that angle. Try and keep your elbow down. So it doesn't have to be a massive turn out, but just slightly out to the side. So do a few with the palm down and then try it with palm up. And I find that that's the hardest one, palm up and kind of out. So you probably know here, you can feel that your arm is in that external rotation, it's turned out, so it's opening out the shoulder. When you've had enough on that side, try the other side. So do a few palm down and then palm up. Now notice, very interesting here for me, because my left side is not as good, my arm really doesn't want to turn out, so my hand's turned out, but my arm hasn't. So notice with you, what's happening? Is your arm still going forward, but your hand turned out, like me? Or are you being much better behaved? Try it with palm up. I'm trying to keep everything in contact with the floor. All right. So we're going to do our forearm stretch now. So let's have both hands down, palms facing down to begin with. We want the same distance between your hands as your elbows. You can do this at the wall as well, Andrea, if you need to. And you're going to press your hands, press your forearms, press your elbows into the mat. And then can you walk your knees back a little way? And then you're pulling your bottom back towards your heels, but you're keeping your bottom high up in the air and reaching your arms forwards in opposition. So you can again do this at the wall. Yeah, she's got it. You can allow your head and your chest to drop down through your arms. You can rest your head down on the mat if that feels okay for you. If you are a rib thruster though, just make sure that you're not just dangling your ribs down. Keep the ribs connected as you reach your arms forwards. So this is a really big stretch through the upper back and shoulders, arms, all the way down to your hands. But of course we've always got more, so just come forward slightly and turn your hands over this time. So palms face up now. Again, same distance between your hands as your elbows, and then again pulling your bottom back towards your heels. Trying to keep as much of your hand down on the mat as you can. So if you have a lot of tension, your thumbs will start to lift away. So really trying to open up those hands. All right, come forwards again, turn your hands over. Again, Andrea, you can stay at the wall for this one. We're going to do thread the needle. So we're staying on our elbows. You're going to take one hand and you're going to pass it behind your other elbow. Rotate your body around. So we're going to bring our shoulder and our ear down towards the floor. reaching that bottom arm through, trying to get a twist through your upper back and really stretching through your shoulders. Let's do the other side, so bring that hand through and switch and do the same on the other side. Again, really reaching your arm through. And when you're ready, come back up, bring that arm through. We're going to just come on up to seated. So just find a position that you can sit in for a few minutes. All right, how are your shoulders feeling? Let's do some circles. And reverse, go the other way. Alright, and then tilt your head down towards your shoulder. Notice here is your chin poking forwards. Can you kind of ramp your head up? Try and keep your ear directly over your shoulder. And then let's lift that opposite shoulder up towards your ear and then pull it down. So we're trying to create more of a stretch, some traction as you pull that shoulder down. Let's just do a couple of those. Bring your head back up through centre and take it over to the other side. Again, checking that you're not poking your chin forward, pull your chin in. And then let's do that little shoulder lift and lower on this side. When you're ready, bring your head back up through centre. We're going to gently turn our head side to side. Good. We're going to interlace our hands again and we're going to press the hands down towards the floor. We're going to press the hands kind of diagonally still down, so kind of halfway between down and forwards. And we're going to do side to side here. And then we're going to take the hands forwards. And then we're going to take them halfway between kind of forwards and up towards the ceiling, so kind of at that diagonal position there. Let's do side to side there. And then take your arms straight up, pressing up towards the ceiling. And then release your hands all the way down. All right, we're going to come back up to standing now. So grab your towel and your book again and come on up to standing. Just have to lift my screen up again. There we go. Okay, so we'll do a towel first. Ooh, okay, so you can kind of go wherever you want. So you can go super wide if you want to, you can go super narrow, kind of somewhere in between. What I want you to think about now, so we already were playing with keeping the ribs down and keeping our weight back through our heels. And now we've just done a lot of work with the shoulders. So I want you to try and keep your shoulders stable. So as you're taking your arms up, you've not got your shoulders coming up. Okay, so we're going to try and keep the shoulders anchored so the movement is really coming through the arm and this shoulder joint here rather than the whole shoulder blade lifted. So let's have a little play with it, okay? And if you've no idea, just enjoy swooshing your towel, it's fine. Let's go around again. So notice if your shoulders are sneaking up to your ears, can you try and keep your shoulders down? Can you try and keep your ribs down? And your weight back through your heels. And if that's too much, just don't worry, just enjoy yourself. And maybe go the other way. Nice. All right. How about if we do our pizza block again? So get your pizza again. Now this time, instead of bending your arm, I want you to try and keep your arm straight, okay? So that means you're going to have to move your body this time. Let's have a play with that again. So let's do, say, 3 following your thumb and 3 following your little finger. So try and have your arm as straight as you can and following your thumb. So it's going to go out to the side, it's going to go behind, it's going to come up and overhead. Ooh. Keep that straight. So then you're going to have to move your body around perhaps to bring that arm through. Now to bring it through, you're going to have to kind of bend forwards and lower that arm down. Ooh. Come on. So let's go again. How straight can you keep? You can bend your wrists and move your hand around obviously to keep your block still, but try not to bend your elbow. Ooh. So when you have lack of mobility in an area of your body or a joint of your body, you can see how the rest of your body has to then compensate for that. So if you weren't able to bend your elbow, the rest of your body has to adapt to that. Try going little finger way maybe. Ooh. Ooh, that's, again, sometimes it's more of a brain challenge than actually a body challenge. Ooh. And often you're not even aware that your arm is bending. It's like, is it bending? I'm not sure. It's a body-brain challenge. Ooh, I think I definitely bent my elbow. Try it on the other side. So again, thumb side. Right, straight arm. The things I have you doing, honestly, and you just do it. When you've done about 3 or you've given up, following the thumb side, try little finger side. Ooh. Oh dear. Oh dear. That set the dog off as well. But it's just a little bit of fun. So it's an amazing workout for the mobility of your, your shoulders and the whole of your body, all of this stuff. You're actually working really, really hard and you don't realise how much work you're doing because it's kind of fun and it's a little bit silly and you're trying to figure out how to move. And I love that kind of work because it's not work, is it? It's play. And that's kind of, if you find a way of moving your body that is fun for you, it never feels like a chore. And I think that's like really, really important. Okay, get rid of your pizza. Pop it to the side. All right, let your arms just get all loose. Give them a good shake out. We're going to give ourselves a hug. Notice which arm's on top as you cross your arms over and bring your hands around. See if you can just hook your fingers under the inside edge of your shoulder blade there. And don't worry if you can't reach, but just see if you can. And then can you, again, pull your shoulders down away from your ears so you're not in like a polo neck jumper. And then maybe it feels nice to kind of just rock side to side here a little bit. You can keep still if that's better for you, or maybe just try that rocking side to side and see how that feels through your upper back and shoulders. And then we're going to start to release the hands. We're going to try and get the backs of the hands together. So you've got one elbow stacked on top of the other one, and this is kind of your eagle arms. So when you're here, again, notice if your shoulders have come up around your ears. Can you pull your shoulders down away from your ears? Can you open your arms out a little bit so they're not right against your face? Can you open them out a little bit? Can you do little side-to-side windscreen wipers with your arms? And then making sure you know which arm is on top, you're going to swing your arms, just let them go. Alright, so we're going to give ourselves a hug, other arm on top this time. Bring your hands around. Again, can you just hook your fingers under that inside edge of your shoulder blade? Shoulders down, away from ears. And either hold here, or again, you can just kind of gently rock side to side. How does that feel through your shoulders and your upper back? And then again, we're going to start to release the hands, keeping the elbows kind of crossed, bringing the backs of the hands together. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Again, can you start to open out your lower arms slightly away? And can you do windscreen wipers on this side? And no, the answer might be no, but try. Try it anyway. All right, we're going to let it go. Let your arms just swing free. Let's do some shoulder circles. So really exaggerated shoulder circles. You're going to really pull your shoulders forwards. Really pull them up to your ears. Really pull them as far back as you can and down. So really getting, like you're really trying to milk the movement. You're really trying to get as much out of it as you can. And then reverse that and go the other way. And it kind of feels really good. Again, you're really getting in there and moving bits that perhaps don't normally get to move so much. And then we're just going to swing side to side and let your arms just kind of swing free as you go side to side. And you guys are all done. I'm sure you are more than done. So I hope everything feels okay. Like I say, you've really moved bits that perhaps haven't got moved for a little while. So just kind of be kind to yourself. But really notice when you're moving around, when you're reaching for things, notice whether your shoulders coming up to your ears, and can you try and keep those shoulders nice and stable and just reach rather than hunching. I'm here if you want me, otherwise go and get your tea and I will see you all soon. Thank you. Take care guys, thank you, bye. Thank you. Oh good, it's nice to move. Yeah, I like that.